Hello YouTubers and welcome to part 4. Right, I said in part 3, or at the end of part 3, that I was going to get this secondary burner welded in and stuff like that, but we've had about 4 or 5 days of really high winds and rain, and I want to take the opportunity while it's sort of brightened up now to actually get on with the door frame and the door, get it chopped out, because there's going to be a lot of grinding, and to do most of my grinding outside, you see, this is why I've not been able to do it. So what I've got, I'm going to start off with, I'm going to make one hinge first. Let's just show you this here. I've got one. This is what I'm going to call a lug for one side of the hinge. I'm going to cut a bit more plate out, and then I'll get that knocked up, and then we'll start working on the door, getting the door chopped down and what have you. Right, one door lug. Okay, I've decided to chop out the hole in the door for the glass. I've just stopped making these hinges for now. That's the hinge there. What I've done, I've rounded all these edges off. That's going to be seen. All these, this is going to be welded. So I've actually filed all the tool marks off it. Got it nice and flat on the edges. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on cutting the door out now. Just want to get a picture of what it's going to look like with the hinges and the glass in and stuff like that, even though I don't want to fit the glass yet. So what I've done, I've tipped it upside down, and I've actually scribed a mark all the way around the frame onto the actual door itself. So what I'll do is I'll move that out the way. Now, and there's, nobody can see it there, there's my mark there, all the way around. Now, this has got a flange on it here, and this is only about something like 4.5mm, and it's only round about 3 on this radius here. So I've got to actually cut this plate out quite accurately. And what we've got to remember also, with it being a stove, obviously it's going to get hot. There's going to be a lot of expansion once this warms up. And I've seen some videos on YouTube where they've fitted Pyrex dishes in, and they've made the doors a little bit too snug up to here. And then, you know, they've resulted in the glass being cracked when the thing cools down. It's okay when it's lit. It's when the thing starts cooling down. What happens is that the glass doesn't expand and contract the same as the steel does, you see. So this stays, this expands for longer than the steel does. The steel actually cools down quicker, so it actually crushes the glass in doing so. So I've marked it out anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to center this up to that mark, and then I'm going to get a marker pen. So that's 20mm. That's 20mm. That was a good guess. That's about an 8. Yeah, that's roughly about right. I'll just shove that up a tiny bit more. 20, yeah. Yeah, so that's nice square. So what I'm going to do now is going to get a marker pen now, and I'm just going to try and get the mark exactly on the edge of that flange all the way around. Keeping the marker nice and straight. And what I'll do then is I'll measure about 4mm back in from that mark all the way round. to get into here, so it sits on there. That's done. That's done. That's done. Right, now, so I can move the glass now. Put that in a safe place where it's not going to get broken. Okay, so now I need to measure the width of that flange back in now. I could always grind it back out that way if need be, but I'd rather cut it smaller rather than too big for the time being. So let's get something like that. So I'm going to come away from the radius. Oh, just mark it there. 4mm there. Okay, we'll get this set up, and we'll get. What I'll have to do is to start. I'm going to use a recip saw to cut this out now. So I'll have to drill some holes in it to get the actual blade. It's one of these blades here. I'll have to get a recip saw or a drill and drill some holes so I can actually get this through. Some holes in the line, the width of that blade, to get it in and start my cuts on all sides. So I'll get on with that now. Okay, I've started drilling this plate now. Okay, same for the rest of them. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll knock it off now and then come back to the recip saw when we're chopping them out. Lovely. Okay, so we've got our door cut out now and tidied up with the grinder. I've got the welder set up now, the MIG welder down there. I'm just going to weld. I've already welded one on my door hinges. I'm just going to weld this other hinge on now, and then I can get the lugs fitted then, and then get the lugs actually welded onto the door, get the door cleaned up and get that sorted. There we go. Yeah, it's on. Let's glue it up. Marvellous. Just going to weld on the last of these lugs now. That one's on. Going to weld this door lug on now. Okay, so that's pretty much the door finished now. The glass is not permanently in. I've just sat it in on the front. It actually goes in through the other side. But there the hinges done. I'm still gonna put some of these dome nuts on it. These things here. You can get them evenly spaced out in between the profile of this plate. So where it opens up really well, the hinges are nice and tight. There is no playing whatsoever. So let's just take that off there and take them off. And there you have it. Beautiful. Really nice and tight, that is. No playing it whatsoever. So before I can get that mounted, I'm going to have to stick the secondary burn in here and get that welded in. I'll take that grate out, and I'm a bit keen to get that done now, so I'm going to start working on that now. Get it welded up through that hole there, the actual secondary burner, or the secondary air intake. So I think I'll start working on that, and then I can get the door frame mounted, and then we can actually see what's going on. Okay, YouTubers, I'm going to I've got my secondary air intake pipe now, and I'm going to be making a flange to go right round this, but I'll have to do it in two parts, I think. I'm going to have to drill a hole in that with this hole cutter here, past the edge of the plate there, something like that. Like I say, I'm not going to be using much of this material going past the centre here, because that's where it's going to be chopped off there. This other plate will carry on the other side, so I think I've got plenty there, and I'll just save myself some cutting. So I'll just bring that up there like that, and I think that's going to be the centre of my hole. I'm going to just put a mark there for the edge. I don't want to chop that off there. I want the edge of the hole there, like that. Okay, I'm just going to mark the centre of that now. The middle of the hole cutter to go that way and hammer these down to meet that. So let's get that drilled out anyway and see how we crack on with it. Grip this with both feet in case it tries to spin. Job done. I've decided that up on the grinder. I'm a bit cockeyed there. Never mind. So we've got plenty of plate for the other one as well.